Kentucky River is right over the hill.
I just love all the locations where we paint because you got the Appalachia Mountains.
Yeah, so I'm a Prewitt, which my last name, I use my art last name, which is Millard, but my husband's Prewitt. His grandpa lives here on the land, and his grandpa was the COO of Carhartt here in Irvine, but he would fly up to Michigan to the headquarters and back down here, and did that for years, and then ended up with this beautiful property here because, you know, this is where the whole family is from, and this is where they all settled, and he didn't want to leave the area, and it's just gorgeous.
I love the sign when I came into Estill County. It said, "Welcome to Estill County, where the bluegrass kisses the mountains."
That's right.
I love that.
Yeah, it's an entryway to the Appalachians, and really we are in the Appalachians. We're just on a hill, you know, one of the knobs or the hills out here. There's a knob.
Well, what a gorgeous place to paint.
Yeah, every time I come out here, I just want to paint, and then I get distracted standing out here taking pictures. Oh, there's more hay bales up there too. I didn't see that.
And the hard part is deciding which scene, because every single way you turn, there's more. But oh, this is just peak. The trees are just starting to change, and what a great thing. I love, clear off in the distance, you see that church steeple. See it way, way back there next to the mountains? Well, this has everything. I love hearing all these songbirds singing out here.
I know. I sit out here and just everyone wonders where Jennifer went. Do you see the trees that are turning bright red too?
Yeah.
Timing. So that barn over there, I've painted that a couple times, and then over here last year, but this year's way better, just better color.
Debbie's doing watercolor too.
Not drying today. I literally just got started on putting color down.
Oh, that looks good. I like your.
Yeah.
I like your sketch.
Thank you. Paint's not drying today.
Yeah, it's damp, isn't it?
Very. It's fun.
With none of the heat that we usually get with humidity.
I'm learning that painting autumn colors is not as easy as you might think.
And the hard part is when you lay down a saturated color, it doesn't look right, does it?
Right, yeah, it needs to be, especially in this light, you really got to take it down. Somehow you got to neutralize those bright colors a little bit.
What I did with the pastel is like over there on the knob, where you see those patches of orange.
Yeah.
I'd lay the orange in, but it's too bright. And then I'd come over real lightly with the dark green, you know, just barely touching it with the green, and that kind of blended it in the way I wanted.
Yeah, kind of neutralize or take the brightness down a bit, yeah.
So is that what you did with the watercolor?
Well, that's what I'm trying to do, but with watercolor it's a little trickier.
Yeah.
Because once you get that bright down there, it's like you almost have to get the right color, like Richard Schmidt does. It's like you gotta spend that extra time just making sure you got that color right before you put it on the paper.
Now, if you had gouache, it'd be a little bit easier.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm going to come back over it a little bit. If I don't water it down too much, I just got to mix that color right. So that's the trick, I think, in order to, and then come back. And actually it does cover up, if you notice that right there just a little bit. It will cover it just a little bit.
Looks really good.
But I think it's the trick with plein air is you gotta remember to dress for the weather.
Yep.
And so I've got layers on.
Well, I forget what artist it was who said there's no such thing as bad weather, it's bad clothing.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I have enjoyed the watercolor this year. I'm finding it's a very portable medium. It's quick to set up. It's quick to clean up, and it's great for traveling. I'm finding it great for traveling. If you want to pack light, I know plenty of people take their whole setup, and but this has been good for me this year because we've camped just about at least once a month. We've camped, and so I've been able to take this with me and do some painting outdoors at our camping trips where I don't have to set up a whole easel. I can just set up on a picnic table, or like with a chair and just laying on my lap. And I'm really liking it as far as portability goes. When I started out, I was just using just like this one little page right here. Actually, I did do a spread when we were at Bott's Park.
Yep.
So, but I did do these one-page ones, which are nice, but I'm really liking this stretched out format. I think it's just really, especially for these, we've been at a lot of farms this year, and the vista view is this was really nice. So, that's what appealed to me about this view is it goes from here all the way to over there. Just a big panoramic view. And
work with pastel flat, but I just was not in the mood for it sitting up today. I didn't feel like having it sit there and going like this.
Oh, sometimes I like how that all blends together.
Yeah, sometimes like with pastels, they just feel better when you have them like this on the paper versus like going like,
Well, I used my Strata easel and that worked for me, and I need
to get one like that. Where did you get that? I need to do a small one like that. That's just
I think I bought it directly from Strata, and
real portable and easy to pull around with you, and
it's really strong. It's aluminum, so it's light, but it's real strong.
That's what I need. I never end up using this. I use it for a stand, but
yeah, it's kind of hard to set up, and it's heavy.
Heavy and bulky, and I don't know why they even sold them. I think they should have made them so that they were like lightweight, because we're carrying these things around, and this isn't lightweight. It's not lightweight at all.
Well, I'm amazed that I'm able to get my new pastel and Snell A all together in the middle compartment. So when I close the lid, the pastels are closed in and they're there, and I can carry the whole thing and have.
I would like to see that set.
And it's a 72 set. 72
I would like to
set.
See that. Yeah, I want to come over there and see that because I need to figure out a better way. I haven't quite figured it out yet, like how to keep everything with me without feeling like I'm overdoing it.
Well, and that's the number one thing that comes with experience is every single paint out. You get rid of one more item and another item and another item and get it down to as easy to carry as you can.
Yeah, yep.
There is just so much color.
Yep, I know. I'm having a hard time not using every color in the world.
Oh man, I tell you, aren't there so many great views here?
There are. This is wonderful. It's hard to pick.
That's really coming together well, and you've got all the great things. You got the hay bale hinted at in there. You got the pond. Well, this is your first outdoor painting of the year, isn't it?
It is.
So do you feel rusty?
A little bit, yeah. But I'm so glad to be out here.
Yeah, yep. And what a nice place. Everywhere you turn is another
Just
scene.
About everywhere, yeah.
Debbie's doing watercolor too.
Not drying today. I literally just got started on putting color down.
Oh, that looks good. I like your I like your sketch.
Thank you. Paint's not drying today.
Yeah, it's damp, isn't it?
Very. Just fun.
With none of the heat that we usually get with humidity. So I end this with the time lapse of my painting. I show stroke by stroke at a higher speed the entire work in pastel. But I hope you enjoyed the first part of this. I put a lot more detail and more time in interviewing each of the members at the paint out, so you would get to see the fun that we have together painting with new friends, the information we share, and what we learn from each other. It's very valuable. Not only that, they have good friends with beautiful places to paint, and that's a huge plus. So I'm hoping you enjoyed that first part, a little bit of detail about the different views and the different visions of each artist when they're looking at pretty much the same scene. A number of different ways to start a pastel painting. Sometimes I do an underpainting in gouache, which is an opaque watercolor, to get all the big shapes and the lights and the darks and all those colors down in watercolor as the base, and then go over it with pastel. You can also lay down pastel tones and then go over it with either water or rubbing alcohol and treat it almost like paint, and well, it is paint, and brush it in like a watercolor undertone. But in this case, I went all pastel and directly in with the colors that I see, and not a whole lot of mixing, so keeping it clean and saturated. The only mixing that I'll do is, as you see the fall colors, those oranges and reds aren't quite that bright, and so you'll see me go over with a light touch of green to kind of neutralize it a little bit. Green is a complementary color to red and orange, and it neutralizes it or grays it down just a little bit, so it knocks that saturated pure color down a little bit. I also exaggerated the blue there to push the mountains in the background even farther back. I like how this green knob is what they call it, these knobs, these hills that kind of thrust their way into the scene, and then you've got the Appalachia Mountains in the background. So I wanted to emphasize the knob and fade the mountain farther back into the background. Jennifer told me this is actually the way it looks most often with fog or humidity, that you'll see a little bit of blue at the bottom of the knob and you'll see blue pushing the mountain back. So it's not really there, didn't really see it, but I added it for the effect to give the feeling of distance. And that comes with experience of learning what you can do to change the painting to what it needs. You don't have to do exactly what's in front of you, but it's hard to do that without experience, without having done a lot of paint outs where you know the liberties and the freedoms that you have to change the scene. I'm now very comfortable of moving a tree that I like over to where it should be in the painting, and getting rid of trees that I don't like, or bushes or shrubs or weeds or whatever. And that's kind of the fun of how you view a painting and how you do it. But also, as you saw the work of all the other artists today, everybody has a different way of doing it and a different view. You saw where I went in there with the brush. I didn't have water or anything on it. It was just a dry brush. I wanted to mix the colors together, but in a very subtle way. I could have used my finger, but the brush is a little more gentle in mixing those colors. I'm painting on UArt sanded pastel paper. I buy my supplies from Dakota Pastel. It's a great U.S. company, reasonable prices, but they have such a variety of pastel supplies. And the pastels I'm using, the harder stick pastels that you see, those are new pastel. And the round, soft pastels you see are Sennelier. It's the 72 set Paris collection. Thanks for watching. I hope you click like or subscribe. It really helps to spread the videos to even more people. Thanks for joining us. I hope you feel like you were a part of our paint out.